Okay, what's up, everybody? Hopefully you like the new recording system that we're using. We're trying to upgrade our stuff. Hey, if you're not familiar with this channel, we love talking about teams that the NFL likes to ignore. And we, as you can see, are Lions fans, but we started this channel because, quite honestly, we love football. So we resonate with teams that are like the Lions. And I want to talk for a second about the Atlanta Falcons, the Dirty Birds, and what they have been up to. It's been pretty impressive, to be honest with you. And when I say pretty impressive, please understand it comes with a grain of salt. They are first place in their division because of their victory over the New Orleans Saints this past weekend. They are in first place at 5-6. This is kind of becoming a theme over the last couple years in the NFC South. That's what it's becoming, but that's okay because you can utilize it. But there are a few things that are happening with the Atlanta Falcons that make me believe that they are going to be the team that comes out top in this division. So that's what we're going to do in this video. We're going to talk about exactly why. And to do that, first thing we are going to do is we are going to look into the game that they just played against the Saints. Here's what I thought was so impressive about this game. They allowed 300 yards passing. They allowed 150 yards rushing, but they still stuck to their game plan. They did not let the Saints score touchdowns. Timely turnover, right? Bend but don't break. They could get down the field, but then they could not score. Some of that's Derek Carr. Some of it is the Falcons' defense. Here's the point. It doesn't matter. And the reason it doesn't matter is because that's the division that you play in. So you can be excited. You can realize, like, this is the division that we have. Not only that, Arthur Smith, you can say what you want about him. He was a man of his word. He said a few weeks back that he needed to get Bijan Robinson more touches. He needed to get Bijan Robinson the ball. And you know what? He is absolutely delivering. Bijan Robinson had 16 carries for 91 yards and a touchdown. All right. That was by far the most carries. Tyler Algier was next. And he had another 6 targets. He was the second most targeted player in the passing game. Also, it didn't stop at Bijan Robinson. He got Drake London the ball. 7 targets, 5 catches, 91 yards. You went to Tyler Algier when you needed Tyler Algier type runs, and you only threw the ball 21 times. Desmond Ridder was clutch. He was not great, but he was clutch. So, the win was good. But let's look at what's left. All right? So, when we look at what's left, what you see is that you have your next game, you can see it right here, against the Jets. You're going against the Jets. Okay, so you are already favorites in Vegas to win this game. Afterward, you get a little home cooking against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. All right, now here's what I want to do as we're going through this schedule just a little bit. I want to talk to you about the other teams in your division. Let's first look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They are not good. They are 4-7. They just put up a fight, kind of, against the Colts. Okay? But if you look at PFF, they are a fake. Their defense, which most people would say is the strong suit of their team, is tied for 30th. They are -25 in the plus-minus. Sorry, -15 in the plus-minus. All right? They have the 19th rated offense on PFF. And they have the 28th overall team. That team is fake. That's a fake team. All right, they're not good. They started with a good record. I want to say 3-2, 4-2, I don't know what it was, 3-1, something like that. They lost to the Lions, and they have never regained their footing. They're a fake team. They just are. The next game you have on the schedule is against the Carolina Panthers. They just fired their head coach. They fired their head coach 11 games into the season. That is the fastest firing of a head coach since 1978. Wow. dumpster fire. And here's the good news. You don't have them on the first week or the second week when the whole team's rallying around whoever the new coach is and everybody's excited and they're just going to rally and they're going to go hard. No, you don't have to play them then. You have them in 3 weeks when reality is set in that this team still isn't good. And you get to go and you get to play them at that time. After that, you have the Colts at home. Absolutely a winnable game. The Colts are 6-5, I believe, right now, but it's going to be home cooking. Like, you are excited for this one. Trust me. Then you're at Chicago and again at New Orleans. I have looked at a lot of schedules down the stretch. This is the easiest one. And the reason it's the easiest one is because it's 2 reasons. Number one, you're in the NFC South. And the back 7, 8 games are loaded with divisional games. The NFL did this on purpose so that there are meaningful games that are being played in the later months. In December, you have meaningful games. That first week in January, meaningful games. And then when you look at the games, that are not against the division, it is the Bears, it is the Colts, and it's the Jets. Bears, Colts, Jets. Do any of those teams scare you? They don't scare me. And they shouldn't scare you either. And I understand Atlanta's not like this unbelievable force yet, but they're heading in the right direction. All right? This is a team that is Ritter playing better. Okay? Or another quarterback away from being a legit team. I mean, legit. But for right now, the idea is get in the playoffs and then see what you can do from there. So we talked about the Tampa Bay Bucks on PFF, how they are the 28th overall team. The Atlanta Falcons, as I'm reading right now, are the 12th rated team on PFF, but they're the most balanced. They have the 13th rated offense for all the garbage that we talk about the offense. Not me personally, but fans. They're 13th. They're rated 13th. They have the 12th rated defense and the 31st rated special teams. What about that other division opponent, the Saints? They're 13th overall, one behind you, but their offense is 21st. Their defense is 8th. All right? You're the team that has the consistency, and you would have to imagine that Ritter is going to get better as the season progresses, not worse. You would have to imagine that he would get better as the season progresses, not worse. So I think for those reasons, they are going to be competing heavily. And then, like I said, they have stars on both sides of the ball. Bijan Robinson is turning into a star. All right, because they're finally using him, but he's still fresh because they didn't even use him a ton in the beginning of the season. And then on the defensive side, you have Jesse Bates, who keeps coming up with plays. He is a phenomenal football player. So yes, you can do anything, and if you make the playoffs, you're going to get a home football game because if you make the playoffs, the path is most likely through a division victory. You're going to have home field in the playoffs, and then who knows what can happen. Anything can happen in the playoffs. So the Atlanta Falcons are going to be your division champs. What do you think? Leave a comment. Let me know if you agree. And thanks for watching. Leave a comment. Subscribe if you haven't already for more Falcons content, and we'll see you on the next one.